Now we're doing the review for section 3-4, and it says find the average rate of change for f of x equals x squared plus 6x minus 10. And that's on the interval from x equals 1 to x equals 3. So what they're really talking about here is finding the slope of the line from the point x1, f of 1, to 3, f of 3. So, with this being a function, we're talking about the point 1 is the x-coordinate, and f of 1 is the y-coordinate. So when we evaluate f of 1, let's do it over here. F of 1 equals 1 squared, which is 1, plus 6 times plus 6 times 1, which is 6, minus 10, and that equals 7 minus 10, which equals 3. So our ordered pair then will be 1, 3. Now we have to evaluate f of 3. So f of 3 equals, now we put 3 in for x and we square that and we get a 9, plus 6 times 3 is 18, minus 10. So that equals 27 minus 10, which equals 17. So now we're talking 3 f of 3, which corresponds to 3 and 17. Now we'll find the average rate of change. Well, the average rate of change is the slope, m, and so we're going to have in the denominator, let's do it this way, 17 and 3 minus minus, and I think this should be a negative 3, shouldn't it here? This should be a negative 3. I think we found our error. 7 minus 10 is negative 3. Anyhow, so we have a negative 3, and we have a, and we have a 1, as we're talking about 1 and negative 3. And that equals 17 plus 3 over 3 minus 1 is 2, which equals 20 over 2, which equals 10. So the average rate of change is 10. Now we're doing question 2, and that says find the instantaneous rate of change of this function on the same interval 1 to 3. So if you look at page 171, it has the definition of the instantaneous rate of change. And so we need two components. We've got f of x. We also need f of x plus h. And now that means we'll replace x with x plus h plus 6 times, and replacing x with x plus h, and minus 10. And let's go ahead and compute this. And so that equals x squared plus 2hx plus h squared plus 6x plus 6h minus 10. Now we have f of x plus h, here it is, and f of x. So let's go ahead and find the instantaneous rate of change, and we'll call it f prime of x. And that equals a limit as h goes to 0. And now replacing f of x plus h with this, all over h, x squared plus 2hx plus h squared plus 6x plus 6h minus 10. And from that, we're going to subtract f of x. So I'm going to change every sign. Anytime you subtract, you multiply through by a negative, and you change every sign. So that's going to be minus x squared, minus 6x, and minus a minus 10 is a plus 10. Now notice, the 10's add out, the x squareds add out, and the 6x's add out. So now we have the limit as h goes to 0 of 2hx plus h squared plus 6h. All the other terms added out all over h. Now from each term we'll factor out an h. So we've got the limit as h goes to 0 of h times 2x plus h plus 6, and all over h. And now the h's divide out, and what we're left with, and by the way, now we can let h go to 0 after those. In fact, let me do it this way. Limit as h goes to 0 of 2x plus h plus 6. Now we'll let h go to 0, and we get 2x plus 6. So now we know that f prime of x, the instantaneous rate of change, equals 2x plus 6. So let's find the instantaneous rate of change at 1. Replacing x with 1, 2 times 1 is 2 plus 6 is 8. Now let's find the instantaneous rate of change at 3. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 6 is 12. So notice we satisfied what we were asked to do. We found the instantaneous rate of change at 1 and the instantaneous rate of change at 3, and we're done.